I'd come out, take a quick little ride before the rain gets in. Haven't been able to get out on the bike for a little bit because I've been traveling some on the weekends. So I haven't really been able to get out and film much. And the weather's been kind of awful here. So we're still expected to get down to the 30s tonight. And then hopefully that's the last little bit of the cold weather. But I wanted to just get out and try and go for a quick ride. I think this weekend we might try to do a little bit of a longer ride. Not sure where we're going to go though. The other thing I wanted to do is I was trying to figure out, I got a new camera last year. I used to use an old Hero 5 Session, which is kind of a small black cube kind of looking camera, but the battery life wasn't very good for the rides. So I upgraded to a GoPro 9. I've just kind of been experimenting a little bit with the camera and the footage and audio. I'm just trying to figure out how to get some decent shots of the scenery. And then I had a couple people comment about telemetry. And I don't really pay much attention to it. I'm not out here for speed. I just come out for fun and enjoy it. So on average, anywhere from 12 to 15 miles an hour is about how fast I go. And I'm also on multi-use paths for the most part. And depending on where you are in the city, they do have a speed limit. Max speed limit on any of them are 20 miles an hour, but in the more congested, then they want you to go 15 miles an hour. Can't say I've ever seen anybody get a ticket or pulled over, but in the month of May, when it's Bike to Work month and more people start hitting the trails, at least on the main trail in the downtown area, they'll put up kind of those how fast you're going speed readers. Occasionally you'll see a cop on a motorcycle sitting at the busier intersections, but for the most part people do pretty good. And there's always that couple percentage of folks that want to go way too fast, that don't follow the rules. And that goes for all the users, not just bike riders. Bike riders, runners, walkers, you name it. We all will make some mistakes from time to time. But I just wanted to get out. So I hadn't been out in a while. It's actually kind of busy here tonight. I think we might take a little detour. Go to the road. So one of the nice things about the trails is they do follow, like with some of the residential, so you can jump off if you need to and avoid the crowds if I have to. Right through somebody's sprinkler. Jump back down the trail. Pretty soon it will start getting busier. We're in that time of the year now where the days start getting longer. And here in central Indiana, at its peak, I mean, you can be 9:30 and still have really good daylight, which of course brings a lot more people out. Hi. And this area especially, as it's filled up with more houses and stuff, definitely busier than it used to be. When I first opened up, we could ride around, see a couple people, but now, depending on the time of day, you really have to kind of dodge some people. So I am getting real close to the 150 mile mark on this bike. My wife just hit 100 on hers on our last ride, and we've really been enjoying them, and we're looking forward to the summer with the little bit nicer weather, getting out and being able to do things. We got my oldest one graduated from college last Saturday, so pretty soon she'll be off on her own, doing her own thing. Our youngest one, the week before we got home from her college, and she has her summer job lined up. So they're both fairly independent girls, and that means my wife and I have a little bit more time on the weekends to do things that we usually didn't get to do, which is why we got the bikes, so we could get out and ride places, explore a little bit. The only challenge we do have is we do have a slightly 1-year-old, she's about 14 months old maybe, border collie. So we have to make sure that we get her exercised, which means we take walks. So like this afternoon, lunchtime, it was kind of nice. So took her for a little walk, about 1.5 miles or so. And I know she's back at the house now whining because she told me to get my sneakers on and she wanted to go, but I don't really have a bike trailer set up, and not sure if she would like that. She's a high energy dog and wants to be involved in the process. So the one thing mentioned in one of my other videos was the new helmets that we got. So we've had 2 long rides that my wife and I have done with the Cena RV1s, and for us, I mean, they're pretty much a game changer on the rides. I've mentioned before, you know, my wife rode at such a different speed, and by such a different, I mean, she was slow, 6 to 8 miles an hour, and just me trying to go slow, I was still doing like 12, so it wasn't as enjoyable. And then also trying to talk to one another. When you're riding, you get the road noise and the wind noise, and the helmets just make it so much easier to communicate and talk to one another. It makes the rides actually a lot more enjoyable. And then the other thing too is, since I got her the e-bike, her casual little pedal is about the same speed, so she's going about 12 to 15 miles an hour, easy. I can maintain that pace, so I'm not constantly having to wait on her. So we're a little bit more compatible on our speeds, which makes it more enjoyable as well. But I mainly did this ride because I wanted to test out the GoPro and the telemetry that comes with it and the GPS features, just so I could see if I can capture a little bit more data that I can display in the videos for people that are into that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Like I said, short, quick, easy ride. Nothing wild.